Welcome to day 4 of the Paris-Dakar 2001, and the first day where the crews enter into northern Africa, into Morocco. A stage from Nador to Er Rashidia. And it was a chance for the previous winners of not only the motorcycle, but indeed the car section to really stretch their legs. Now, this is a quick look back as to what happened yesterday on day 3, our final of 3 stages that were held in Europe. This particular stage held along the beach just outside the town of Castellón in Spain. Of course, the thing about beaches is, well, there's lots of sand. The only difference to the sand in Spain as to in the desert, it was very, very damp and very, very difficult for many of the crews to get out. And as you can see, some of them were in real trouble. And after the problems that befell with the Spanish Motorcycle Federation, some of the motorcycles, well, they decided to do it, if only to try and keep their riders race fit. Some of them got a bit of a soaking that they didn't expect, but otherwise, many of the people were very happy. Even the Japanese in their Hino. Kamaz truck number 429. They certainly got well stuck in and certainly chewed it up. But at least the cars and the bikes had gone through first. This is Gauthier and Vedaboncoeur in their Jeep. And they had a bit of water in their electrics, and they were to lose quite a bit of time. Now, also looking back to day 3, as I mentioned earlier, the motorcycles were not allowed, after a problem with the Spanish Motorcycle Federation, to actually do stage 3 of the Paris-Dakar. Therefore, all the riders had to do was to ride the short road section to the stage start, get their time cards stamped, and then they had the option of either riding down south another 500 odd kilometers, or indeed getting in a car. Trouble is, some of the privateers further down the field, they don't have a vehicle available to them. So here we see number 22, Francois Flick. He decided to just ride down, where we see Frédéric Moncassin. He, the former Tour de France yellow jersey wearer back in 1996, well, he used a little bit more intuition. And after being guided towards various places around Castellón, and indeed ringing up the hire car company here, and having a bit of a language problem. Remember that this predominantly French rally is in Spain, but eventually got through to the hire car company, hired himself a big van, chucked the bike in the back, and he was to save himself some energy and indeed a little bit of mechanical wear on the motorcycle. He said, "I just love it like this. It really is a big adventure." Today's stage, day 4, Nador to Er Rashidia, a road section of 184 kilometers, that's just over 110 miles. The stage itself, 139, and then a long other road section down south to Er Rashidia. Early start for many of the riders as the ship docked after having left Almeria late last night at the end of day 3. 2 ships absolutely jam-packed, full of machinery, both two-wheel and four-wheel. The trucks and anything too high had to go on another separate boat. But after they had had some kip, the millions and millions of dollars worth of machinery was rolling out into Africa. Richard Sankt on the KTM, off and well and truly flying with the machine. Very, very quick stage today, 139 kilometers of it, and many of the riders coming back into service saying we just could not go any faster. Richard Sankt went all out today, and in doing so won the first African special of the Paris-Dakar 2001, and he won it by a full 1 minute and 14 seconds. There may have been snow on top of those mountains, but it was absolutely white-hot action down on the sand. Second place today was Carlos de Gavado, the Chilean rider, the ex-marathon specialist. 1 minute and 14 seconds behind his teammate Richard Sankt. So KTM 1, KTM 2. Where were the BMWs? Well, we shall catch up with them in a moment. Third today was Mioni on another KTM. The Italian was giving away 1 minute and 27 seconds to Sankt. Sankt really did go very, very quickly indeed. He knows this stage and this area of Morocco very, very well, and really it was a case of the others doing their best to try and limit the damage that Richard Sankt could put into the rest of them. However, it's a 3-week rally. It is very, very early days, and with corners like that you really have got to follow your road book. Fourth today, South African superstar Alfie Cox on another KTM. He was just another 6 seconds slower than Mioni, therefore fourth overall, with a time of 1 hour, 17 minutes and 34 seconds, giving away 1 minute 33 to Sankt. Alfie saying that he really was in top gear for most of the time, and there's no skill involved about holding the throttle wide open and just getting out of the air and just trying to make yourself as slippery as possible as the air goes over the top of you. So really it was a battle of the machines, and the KTMs were winning. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th position was taken by KTM on today's 139 kilometer stage. 5th was Tienen. In the meantime, here is Jordi Arcarons, who was involved with changing a front wheel with the rim well and truly bent. This is on the stage, remember, so time still ticking away. And his KTM teammate soon sacrificing a wheel and away in the distance. Back with the action though. What are the BMWs? Well, Spain's Juan Roma, he was 6th fastest. Therefore, the leading BMW on the stage was 2 minutes and 33 seconds behind Richard Sankt. Roma coming past one of the organisational vehicles and not happy with it either, because that dust really was hanging in the air. Soon getting back onto, well, what you could call the straight and narrow. And the BMWs were having a few tyre problems. Roma's rear tyre, by the time he got to the end of the stage, was pretty well worn out, but not running into the problems that his teammates were having on the other flat twin machines. 7th position, another KTM. Mayer, and he was having problems as well on the number 15 KTM. He was 3 minutes and 52 seconds slower than Richard Sankt. Giovanni Sala, he was 8th fastest on yet another KTM, making it just eventually 2 BMWs inside a top 10 that was ridden with, if that to coin a phrase, by KTMs. Esteve Puyol, yet another KTM, he was 9th fastest. And America's Jimmy Lewis, well, he had a massive problem 20 kilometers before the end of the stage, when the mousse in the rear tyre, that's the anti-deflation mousse, actually got so hot it started to burn and bubble from the inside, and therefore he had a massive vibration that could really only leave him doing about 40 or 50 kilometers an hour as opposed to 200 kilometers an hour. That is the result from the stage. Sankt from De Gavado, Mioni, Alfie Cox and Tiernan. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The overall standings therefore, Richard Sankt has a lead of 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Roma not far back. Very stony stage, but I'm happy. All is good for me. It was a technical stage, but likewise very dangerous too. But it's okay, and let us wait for tomorrow.
Realmente peligroso, era mejor pasarla, hacerla bien sin tomar riesgos y estar aquí entero y a punto para mañana.
Una prima giornata tranquilla.
A quiet first day, a relatively easy stage. I didn't risk anything, so therefore all is okay. The bike is well prepared. We're quite optimistic, but the gap in time is not important now. We'll see about that when we arrive in the desert. That is my preferred type of stage, and I'm looking forward to the other stages.
L'importante sarà arrivare, diciamo, al deserto, alla sabbia, che è il terreno che preferisco, e lì allora cominceremo a fare sul serio e quindi poi si vedrà.
Well, we see a lot about the motorcycle solos, but what about the quad bikes? This is Jose Luis Alvarez. He on the quad. Now, he had a problem, he was explaining, with the gear shift on the left-hand side, and in the end, well, he's just stuck a sausage in it. One of the pins has dropped out, and well, nothing like a bit of dried sausage. And he managed to get to the finish. Quad number 142. We saw him pretty enthusiastic yesterday in front of his home crowd at Castellón, and he proving that he can get to the finish with a piece of dried sausage. Such is the technology. Romance in the desert. The cars rolling off the boat for the start. Some have said of the real Paris-Dakar 2001. Jean-Louis Schlesser explaining that he's getting used to the dunes even before he'd set foot in Africa, whilst going on the boat over from Spain, from the port of Almeria. An overnight boat trip saw them arrive very, very early in the port of Nador. And after a short road section, everybody was into the Atlas Mountains and finding the legs of their machines and really getting into the swing of things. Jean-Louis Schlesser looking for a hat-trick on the Dakar after winning it in 1999 and 2000. What can he do in 2001? Well, the answer to that on stage 4 is he really means business. Schlesser, fastest today with the Schlesser buggy, 3 minutes and 40 seconds faster than Jean-Pierre Fontenay in the Mitsubishi. Schlesser, remember, he was 13th starting the stage. People start the stages on the Dakar in the order in which they finished the previous day's stage. So it's not like the World Rally Championship where they start as per overall ranking. Schlesser 13th yesterday in Castellon, therefore started quite further back, a lot of the, well, 12 cars ahead of him. Therefore, what he elected to do was to go flat out right from the word go to try and cut through the dust of the other runners, and that is why he came through into some clearer air and managed to put up that good time. Schlesser winning from Fontenay. Third place, Servia in the sister Schlesser machine to that of the winner of the stage. Servia giving away nearly 7 minutes to Jean-Louis, the team boss and teammate. Fourth today, Thierry Delaverne in the Nissan. Delaverne giving away 8 minutes and 10 seconds to Schlesser. Fifth today, Germany's Jutta Kleinschmidt in the Mitsubishi. Similar to that, of course, of Fontenay, the short wheelbase machine. Fifth place for Kleinschmidt. T3, but slightly different, of course, with the diesel turbo. That goes today to Souza. Sixth position for him today. 8 minutes and 36. That's 10 seconds slower than Kleinschmidt. Well, we saw Shinazuka stuck in the sand yesterday, but his teammate Masuoka led overall. In the end, Masuoka today was 8th. 11 minutes and 1 second back of Schlesser's two-wheel drive buggy. Remember that the Schlesser buggies of Schlesser and Servia, two-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive. Here is Luc Alphonde in the Schlesser-built Kangoo. Luc Alphonde, 11th today in number 211. Nearly 13 minutes slower than the winner. But some terrible luck befell Belgium's Gregoire de Mavius. Just look at the rear wheel there. Very, very early on in the stage, the poor, unlucky former two-time Group N World Rally Champion had broken the rear beam on the Nissan. And as you can see by one of the rear wheel rims there, it's taken quite a dent. You can just see it behind the bumper there, and that was what broke the rear beam. And as you can see, they managed to try and lash it together. You can see the trailing arms and the wishbones flapping underneath, and the anti-roll bar, absolutely useless. They've lashed it together to try and get, of course, the solid cast item, try and get it to the finish. In the end, Gregoire de Mavius lost nearly 1 hour and was well down the order. Not a good day to start your rally. In T1, Pierre Lartigue's prognostic concerning the battle in the T1 class proved absolutely spot on. He put up the best time and pulled back 26 seconds on Stefan Pederhansel, of course the 6-time winner of the Dakar on a Yamaha motorcycle. Therefore, Lartigue now leads Pederhansel by just 15 seconds. Pederhansel in the Nissan, number 219. Fords will be more suited towards this kind of terrain rather than the super specials that were put on at Castellon, Château-Lastours and Le Chartres. And true Dakar images coming forward now. There's the stage. Schlesser from Fontenay, 3 minutes difference. Servia and 6 minutes and 54 back. De la Verne, the leading Nissan, and Kleinschmidt there in 5th place, 8.5 minutes back of Schlesser, who leads overall from Fontenay, from Servia, De la Verne and Souza. I knew I had to go quickly before the first control point if I wanted to overtake most of the cars that started ahead of me. I went very quickly once I got ahead, and it seems as if my time is good. It was the sort of stage that I liked very much, and all was okay at the beginning, but it was a blind corner, and on the left-hand side there was a big stone, and therefore I hit it. However, I managed to avoid another stone with my front wheels, but the back wheels just hit that particular one, and after that we went very slowly because we couldn't finish, because we broke the left suspension, the rear suspension and the rear beam.
On s'est dit qu'il fallait absolument aller au bout, donc on a été relativement doucement, et sur la fin, bon, comme c'était un peu plus roulant, heureusement on a réaccéléré un peu plus.
Now, many of you will have heard about the political machinations concerning the first day of the Paris-Dakar rally in Northern Africa. And that, of course, concerning the Polisario political activists. And Hubert Auriol saying that, well, the TSO trust, the Terrorist Sabine organization, trusts the Moroccan authorities, but we will be optimistic as to how they will cooperate with us and how the rally will progress through this area.
Se servent du Dakar comme d'une tribune médiatique.
Well, what about the trucks after the fourth stage of Paris-Dakar 2001? Leading overall, the Russians, Vladimir Iguzar and Sergei, in their Russian-built Kamaz. They were first on today's stage in number 424. 3 crew, of course, in each truck. They did the stage 29 seconds quicker than the rest of them. Therefore, they are leading overall. Second on the stage today was Kabirov in a similar Kamaz truck, 1 hour and 35 minutes. That compares to the motorcycle time of 1 hour and 16, and it compares to another 4 minutes faster for the cars. So the truck's obviously a lot slower than everything else. Third on today's stage with regards to the trucks, the Camion. De Azevedo, the Brazilian driver, but with the Czech crew alongside him on his right-hand side in their Tatra. They gave away 2.5 minutes to the leading Kamaz. Fourth on the stage, number 429, Giria. He was only 6 seconds slower than De Azevedo. Tomorrow, stage 5 of the Paris-Dakar 2001, Ereshida to Kwazante. Road section of 57 kilometers. The first big stage, 333 kilometers before another road section of 182, making a total kilometerage of 572 kilometers. The Dakar is well and truly underway as they try and all get some sleep in the very first bivouac of 2001.